What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the World Cup Stories cards. So we've got a full team, and I believe there is only one team for this. I believe next week we go on to the Phenoms, I think they're called. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. And there's a few good players in this team, and a few that I'm just thinking there is 0 point you being in here. So let's discuss them. We're going to go through each one, and then we also will have a video on the World Cup Icons team too. So stick around for that. Make sure you like and subscribe. And let's get into it. If you're looking for coins, coaching, boosting service, head over to skycoach.gg. Go into your order now. Make sure that you hit the promotional code, type in JT, and get yourself 10% off any services on skycoach.gg. So we're going to go for the first one, and the obvious one that honestly I don't understand why he's in here. And it has to be Richarlison. He's an 88, 560k at the time of recording. But we already have an 86 that was free. I don't get why we've got this. There is literally +2s on this card compared to his one to watch. I don't get it. It's still a nice card. I like his one to watch. Not quite in the meta. I feel like if his one to watch was this sort of level, then honestly, we would be looking to potentially put him into the team right now. But I am not doing an objective from the very start of the game to then go and buy the same card with a +2 for 560,000 coins. It is just absurd that that is a thing. It is what it is, but I don't get it. Maybe at Team of the Tournament, I could have understood one if, obviously, he goes that far and does pretty well. His goal was absolutely quality from, obviously, that overhead kick, roundhouse kick kind of thing. It's beautiful, but definitely not in a story. So anyway, let's jump into this. 4-star, 5-star. We've got to rate him on actually what it's about. Unfortunately, he does have an 86 that can still be upgraded with a team at a tournament as well. So always be wary if you are looking to buy this card. Realistically, though, we've got centre forward, left wing. We've got him obviously as the striker, 560, so a hefty price. Chemstar is going to be looking at the Hunter, 96 pace, 93 shooting. It's not bad at all. We said the 4-star, 5-star. I'd probably have to go straight AS with him. Would I say S? I would say AS because I don't feel like he's gonna change anybody's teams. If you've got an Mbappe, if you've got a top end icon, I don't feel like he gets above them. If you're not necessarily, if you're still rocking a Haaland, if you're like gold Haaland, obviously, or somebody in the gold variety other than Mbappe, then maybe yes, he probably overtakes all of them. But we've got a lot of top end strikers, and I think he probably just falls just short. And we'll go to the two that we did review because they are roughly the same sort of prices still. We've got him, good old Bale and Rashford. So Bale, more than likely for me, is a bench player, and he actually was fantastic. He is dropping in price, currently coming in now, an updated price 165, 250 when I reviewed him. Definitely a solid card for a bench. Wouldn't pay no more than probably just over 100k, and that would purely be I just don't have any bench players. He worked really well. We played him off chem just to kind of emulate him being off chem coming off the bench, just purely for the fact that I know a lot of people won't have MLS players in their champs team. So realistically, that is where you're going to play him. Right wing, he absolutely killed it. Was very, very good and very efficient or for the price. You get a good amount of kind of goals and assists back from him for 100, 150k, whatever you want to spend on him. So again, another one that definitely will go into the AS, and that moved us straight on to big boy Rashi. Again, another one that has got an 84. At least it is a good +4 upgrade. It is a left wing as well, so obviously not a striker this time, and definitely coming in at a value 1.35 mil. I don't quite believe that he's worth that much. I did kind of give him a very gleaming review. He did very, very well. Great pace, great finishing. Dribbling's nice with a finisher. A good amount of physicality. Heading, passing's okay. He is an all-round very good player on this game. And normally once we get to FUT Birthday, we tend to get a 5-star, 5-star, 90+ Rashford anyway. Whether that's going to happen this time will be interesting, but still a stunning card, and he has to be the first in S. Then we have his teammate Bruno Fernandes. He is obviously a 623 K card. He's coming in at 90 rated with some decent stats. To be honest, shooting's looking good, passing, dribbling. We've obviously got only 83 composure, which I didn't realize his composure was so low on his base card, because obviously he's gone up a +4. He's naturally got a +4 on his composure, meaning he's got 79 on the base, which is absolutely crazy. I really think he deserves higher than that personally. 80 pace, so you're definitely looking at something like a Shadow or a Hunter at the very, very minimum. People are saying Shadow, which would take the defender to 79, but I think that's absolutely wasted. I'm going all-out attack with him. There's no holding back in terms of box-to-box. He is an out-and-out cam/striker. A striking cam, not necessarily put him in a striker position, but most definitely a cam that just stays forward. He gets 88 pace, 94 shooting, 90 rated cam, as we see on the card. A very, very top-end card, but not falling into the S, just in the AS. Next up is Timothy Weah. Obviously, done relatively okay. USA managing to get through. An objective card, to say the least, so he is actually free. And a pretty easy one to do. You can get this one done pretty... Could you get it comfortable? Could you get it comfortable in Rivals? I'd say depending on your ranking. If you're in the Elite, you might be a little bit more struggling. But I think if you're going down Division, say, 2 and below, you should be able to get this done with a span of matches. Pretty comfortable, I would say. 86 rated, though. 92 pace. He's gone from a 74, so he's had a decent upgrade, if anything. But again, with these objectives, they are predominantly kind of normally minor league based. So obviously being League 1, I was kind of expecting something maybe from a minor league that would work in that sort of team. A Liga Portuguese. Obviously MLS is another great shout, but he is in Ligue 1. We have had a flashback Messi who is also right mid, and we've also had a few other right mids in terms of, I cannot pronounce his name, but I believe he plays... He doesn't play for the same team, I'm pretty sure. It begins with F, and I can never pronounce his name. Romain, I believe his name is, and he is Lyon, so not the same team, but obviously with the right mids, not necessarily going to be fantastic. I think in terms of, is he playable in any sort of sense? Maybe to some extent, but I'd probably only say B tier at best. If then we look at two that, to be honest, are brand new to the sort of system of FIFA because they don't actually have a club. Obviously, they've been called up to the World Cup without a team, so they currently are not signed by anybody. They have just got the Brazil flag or Brazil badge and Uruguayan badge. So they actually don't have any sort of value in terms of chemistry other than their nation, which makes them a bit annoying to kind of link. Dani Alves, iconic, would love him in an icon, definitely in the next few years. Even at best, he's got to be a hero, but I feel like icon status has got to be there. Just depends on how many icons they're looking at, as we already have Carlos Alberto, Cafu. I don't know if they're going to put another Brazilian icon in there unless they cut someone loose. I'm pretty sure Carlos Alberto's not been too long in FIFA, and Cafu's very recent, so whether they cut them loose is going to be an interesting story to see. But he keeps coming out of retirement, honestly, so we'll see him for quite some time. In terms of a right back, though, 359k, can be right wing back, right mid, and right back. Can have, obviously, all the chemistry styles, will be explosive. Not necessarily the greatest thing I find for a right back. I'm not normally a big fan of explosive right backs, just because I feel like they tank out far too quickly, unless you are tackling every single time and getting it right. You're going to be burnt past pretty quickly if you've got the explosive on and say they have that controlled or lengthy past you. Just naturally something to look out for. In terms of chemistry style, obviously Shadow's going to be the one to go for as well. In terms of Shadow, that will, in fact, Anchor will make you controlled. That's interesting. So if you are looking for more of a controlled runner, Anchor's going to be absolutely perfect. Shadow will give you 97 pace, 91 defending, 90 rated right back. I'd solidly give him an A. I feel like some of the right backs, like a Walker, is going to do absolutely way more for a lot cheaper. And then if we go into Cavani, again, another name more than anything. He's coming in at 52,000 coins, so you can already see where we're going with this. He can't actually be lengthy, which is mental. Obviously, that would have been a real big meta player if we managed to get him during the lengthy spell of being meta. Great pace, great shooting, dribbling's absolutely quality, composure at 92, good physicality on the ball. He is going to be one of them ones that, if you are looking for a right back, I think he's going to be absolutely perfect. Shadow will give you 97 pace, 91 defending, 90 rated right back. I'd solidly give him an A. I feel like some of the right backs, like a Walker, is going to do absolutely way more for a lot cheaper. And then if we go into Cavani, again, another name more than anything. He's coming in at 52,000 coins, so you can already see where we're going with this. He can't actually be lengthy, which is mental. Obviously, that would have been a real big meta player if we managed to get him during the lengthy spell of being meta. Great pace, great shooting, dribbling's absolutely quality, composure at 92, good physicality on the ball. He is going to be one of them ones I'm just trying to think. 3-star, 4-star. That's really going to where he's going to let himself down. Agility, balance, 86, 84. I'd imagine a bit blocky at times. Definitely got the pace once he gets on the ball, but might find it a bit tough to kind of get up speed, especially against 2 defenders. I would probably say a 2 attack would suit him down to the ground, and maybe just trying to feed them balls through rather than kind of giving him as a kind of striker to give and go sort of thing. Hunter has definitely got to be the way to go. Will be controlled, and if we can find Hunter, 95 pace, 95 shooting, 93 rate striker. Can't really ask for more. I'm going to go 52,000 coins. I'm going to say A for right now. I feel like the stats definitely are very good, but there's a reason why he's dropped down so much so quickly. And I think it could be mainly down to the fact he doesn't link for anyone else. And realistically, how many other Uruguayans are you going to have? Nunez is obviously a quality one. Suarez, if you really wanted to. And then Forlan. Valverde as well, actually. So I suppose there's actually a few. Bentancur, Aurora. Okay, I will take it back. To be fair, there is definitely a few that is pretty meta. I'd say Nunez is one of the big ones I still see. Suarez, maybe not as much. Forlan, definitely. And Valverde, definitely. So there's probably enough to get him on chem, to be fair. Okay, I'll take it back. I think Uruguayan-wise, you're definitely solid. Leroy Sane. 88 rated cam. It's coming in with some beautiful stats. Cam, right wing, left mid. Absolutely sensational. I'd be very tempted to go striker with him. 6 foot, 4-star, 3-star, which is the unfortunate thing. A 4-4 would have been absolutely beautiful for him. Obviously, chem star people are saying anchor apparently, or shadow. Oh, I suppose they're going for more defensive. No way. Absolutely no way. You could definitely put this guy on the wing. You could go up front. Cam-wise, he might be a little bit too big. Just purely for the fact he's 6 foot. Well, it's my personal preference. I like my smaller cams, a little bit more agile, very much like a Messi, can get in and out everywhere. Whereas I like the fast-paced dribblers in the left wing, right wing spots, the Bales, the Rashfords, the Sanes, the Sons. They personally are way, way better at that. And obviously then a striker is another option for him. If you wanted to go all-out attack and go Hunter, 99 pace, 92 shooting, which is not bad at all. If you went for finisher, kept the pace as it is, 95 in the dribbling and shooting as well. Again, a very, very top-end card here. I think in terms of top-end, I'd have to go AS for right now. But again, we will see in the future if this card springs to life in any other version. We have to look at Big Virg, don't we? 92 rated. What a card this is. He is actually extinct at 1 million coins, according to Futbin. Very interesting. I thought I saw him up for price, but 1 million coins is where his extinct at. Could definitely see that a mile off. The first special card we've got from Virgil, and honestly, we've got his gold card. The best gold centre-back you can get on this game. Honestly, 104k. I'd be very tempted to say that he's not going to be worth a mil, purely for the fact that his gold card is only 2s and 1s upgraded, as well as the fact that he's not a million coins. He's 900k cheaper. You are paying for the dynamic. Obviously, the dynamics in all of these are really sick with all of the national teams. Unfortunately, we don't get to see every single badge, but most definitely a lot of them we get to see, which is always just amazing. We've never had dynamics from international, so it's very nice to see that they've started this year. I would say Virg, top end card, 100%. He's got to be in the S. There's no other category that you go for a Big Virg. He's great pace, great defending, physical's always cracked. Obviously the passing's normally pretty good, never normally incredible, but definitely just gets himself about and is 100% worth putting in your back line, gold or this Virg. So if we just get through a few of the more fodder ones, obviously we've got a few that have to make up the team really. Again, there's 4 specific really, 11k, 20k, nothing really crazy from all of them. They offer some value in terms of nation teams, but in terms of actually going into any people's teams, they're just not made for that. They're made for pack fodder, in general, just going into your Saudi Arabian team, your Croatian team. If you are making a well-rounded squad, then definitely 100% they are worth putting in, because they are going to be better than a few versions other than them. So if we look at, for instance, the Denmark lad, if we look at centre-backs, you've got obviously Christiansen as a token player, and then you've got this guy. Other than that, you're looking at Christiansen and this guy again. So 83 and 83, instead 87 and 86. Very nice for that Denmark back line. Whether you can actually play fun with a team like that now, I think pretty much most modes have been absolutely drained out of fun in terms of friendlies, in terms of different squad builders. It's just not happening anymore. It's all about meta, and unfortunately that is where these cards don't really match up. Asensio has got himself another card, so we just cannot get away from this card every single time. We got an Adidas last year, we got a Moments the year before, was it? I think an objective milestone last year, or the year before, and then a Moments the year before that, which he won a tournament for, as that was during COVID, which that is just absolutely nuts that was that long ago. But in terms of Asensio, we've actually got a relatively decent version this year. 89 rated, striker, can be centre forward and right wing still, which is always good. Great pace, great shooting, well, good shooting I'd say, not necessarily great. Great dribbling, passing's decent. 4-star, always nice. Obviously, the right wing, I think, would suit him more, and I would probably be looking more towards the Hunter again, just to boost up as much shooting as possible. You'd end up with 98 pace and 92 shooting, which, again, for a card like this, it's going to be a nice upgrade. Coming in at 280, I think in terms of this card, again, he's probably an AS for right now, but more than likely will drop to A very, very quickly with a few more cards being added into the game. The penultimate card is going to be Rabiot, the 86 centre-mid from Juventus, 106,000 coins. Again, not necessarily the greatest card in the world, but we've got a 6'4" player here, 3-star, little bit of a letdown. Every stat above 80, Hullet gang if you've ever seen one, and in general, is just a nice all-round card more than anything. Anchor and Shadow are going to be the two chem stars that people want. It will make him lengthy, if that is anything this year. 87 pace, 87 defending, 90 physical. He's not a bad DM. In terms of Serie A, it's not terrible. I think in terms of DM, we've obviously got Milinkovic-Savic as obviously more of a box-to-box. We've then got Marquisio, who is 1.6 mil, so no real comparisons. We have a Brozovic, who is 88k, looking very good, but not as much pace, which, again, take as what you will. Then we have Wijnaldum as more of a box-to-box again. So, and Benesa, again, a cracking road to the knockout if you did him. And then, obviously, we have the 86s. So, he's amongst everybody. He's not necessarily the first choice, but in terms of what you can get, he's not a bad pricing, and he will more than likely go down through the week. I can't see him staying above 100k, more than likely dropping below 50 at some point as well. So, especially when upgrades are happening, actually, because I know we haven't got many of them now. We should get upgrades Monday, which, again, these cards, if they're not necessarily meta, they are dropping beyond all belief. I think for right now, I would say A, and I think as we go forward, we get some more higher rated cards, he'll drop down to B and C very, very quickly, like Asensio. And finally, Davies. What a card. Always love this card. It's very much like a shapeshifter already. Very, very sad to see Canada not necessarily kick on and get anything in the World Cup, but again, it's always a start, and he's definitely... He's their light. I think he definitely put in a shift. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to happen, but we've got a nice card from it. He is a left back originally, and he can still be left back in this card, which is always nice. So it's not like a shapeshifter where it cuts off all ties. He is left wing, left mid, left wing back, and left back in this version, and most definitely a nice, well-rounded card. Great pace. Defending could do with some work, hence why we're going to go probably more with some sort of shadow if you're going more defensive. But I think what you can do with this card as well is actually go more attacking, which is mad to think. Because he's got the dribbling, we've got 80 composure, which again is not necessarily ideal. But if we go with the finisher, for instance, we are looking at 89 shooting, 94 dribbling. That is absolutely crackers to see already. So I think in terms of a forward, you definitely could have somebody who is gonna actually do something. I think if I'm going for left back, I'd probably go with A. If I'm going left wing, would I say AS? Because I'm thinking he is very much more defensive, very quick, can get on the ball, he's got decent dribbling stats, passing wise is looking okay, to be honest. Finishing at 96, which is not bad. Great pace, physicality is about average. I'd probably say AS. You could maybe push into S, but I think that's going to be in the lower tiers of rivals. I think if you step in this card with Elite, I feel like he will get buried left, right, and center. So we're going to stick with AS, and that is the team of the World Cup Stories. I think that's which one I'm going for now. Again, nice card design, some nice players, but not really a massive hype throughout the whole of them. I think Rashi looks good at a good price, but at the minute at 1 mil, it just isn't happening for me. Bale probably being my best player so far. I feel like he definitely comes in. Nice price, great player on the pitch, and a nice super sub at best. So let me know down below if you've got any of these cards or want any of these cards. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you all for the World Cup icons. Peace.